Well, folks, after a dominant first half performance, the Eagles decided to do what birds do and laid an egg in the second half.
Nothing on the scoreboard, Jake. 21 points up, and the Eagles could not bring home a victory in Jerry World. They were in the perfect position to do so. We're going to break down what went wrong for the Birds out in Big D for the love of Broad Street.
Well, Marshall, there are games that you win, there are games that you lose,
Right.
and there are games where it feels like the referees want a result to happen.
That's
I have
true.
a question for you, friend.
Mm-hmm.
Which of those three things occurred, or was it all three?
I think it was easily a combination of the three, but man, the refs did not help in this game.
Oh,
The
God.
penalties were very, very poorly timed and very backbreaking for a team that cannot get out of its own way in recent weeks. Obviously, coming off of two offensive performances that were lackluster, 10 points, 16 points, you win those games, you're feeling like, all right, we kind of got out of it just barely, and you just felt like the offense needed to do more to support the defense that had been playing lights out. And it did to start the game, Jake.
Yeah.
Three touchdowns. The Eagles are up 21 points, and they did it through a combination, a lot through the air. A.J. Brown got involved in this game, 110 yards, 8 receptions, 10 targets. It felt like, okay, well-oiled machine. Defense gets a big stop to start the game off with a fourth down stop. Again, okay, we're back down the field. AJ's in the end zone. We're feeling it, right? 7
yeah.
points up. Let's go. We're all the way back. Next drive, similar results. Up 21, and they just went home. The Eagles just went home. It's like, well, that's it. We don't need to play anymore, Jake. We don't need to
I
play anymore.
don't understand why this has happened. What is this, like 4 or 5 times now, where you're just cooking in the first half,
Yep.
and it's like Patullo just like forgets how to play call after halftime. I don't. It's the other teams can't be making that drastic of an adjustment at halftime. There's no way. Maybe one time when this happens, you go, okay, they got us in the second half.
Right.
But even the games where we won, I'm thinking Rams, I'm thinking Bucks, where we just like couldn't do anything after halftime. And Denver, where we lost.
Yeah.
Obviously, that this game felt a lot like Denver to
did.
me. I don't understand what's happening. And it's hard to sit here at 8-3 and say, the offensive coordinator's got to go. But like, what are you doing? What is he doing?
I don't know.
Saquon Barkley, 10 carries for 22 yards in a game where you were leading. Was it 21-0? I think.
Yep. 21-0.
21-0.
Don't score another point.
What is happening? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And some of these, Jake, the offense you can kind of point to, okay, shoot, we get a penalty. They were saying it in the press conferences after this game. Well, we had penalties that put us in bad positions, and we were close to getting first downs, and then all of a sudden we're getting knocked back behind the sticks, and they're putting a lot of the blame on that. But we haven't seen, outside of the Giants game, a successful running attack from this offense the entire year. We have to come to grips with that. I mean, the attention has been on A.J. Brown. The attention has been on Jalen Hurts. The attention's been on Devontae Smith. Like, why is the passing game not coming together? I mean, statistically, Jalen had one of his better passing games of the season, yardage-wise, 289 yards, a touchdown. He only took 1 sack in the game, 27 to 39 passing. That's not bad for Jalen standards. It was the Eagles just either decided that they were not going to run the ball in the second half or just knew that they did not have the ability to run the ball in the second half because of the injuries up front. And Jake, I think that's a big problem the rest of the way, especially now that we know we've got Johnson on IR, that it's going to be several weeks at least until he's really able to come back. That's a problem. I think the statistics when Johnson plays versus when Johnson does not are there's a stark contrast. The Eagles are much better with Johnson at right tackle. Fred, he's playing okay, but he's just not the concrete piece that we are used to having on the outside driving some of these run plays. Barkley's upset. I think the whole offense is upset. When you go up 21, you expect to score more than that for the duration of the game. I mean,
Yeah,
they
at
go up
least one
21.
more.
They go up 21 with what 8-10 minutes left in the second quarter. I mean, this was not the performance that we were expecting on either front here, Jake.
And for a team that, we've gotten kind of used to not turning the ball over. I
Hmm.
believe it was 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, what you're doing moving the ball wise. If you're fumbling twice in the fourth quarter, you're not going to win a game, probably. And we didn't. And that's why.
Hmm.
So I guess I can sit here and complain about the coaching all I want, and I will, ladies and gentlemen, I will.
Yeah.
But 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter is not what Super Bowl teams do.
Yeah. And to the
And
defense's credit, Jake, one of those was a fumble in our own territory,
yeah,
way deep. And then you get a fourth down stop on that play.
right.
There's also an interception in the end zone in this game, a la Reed Blankenship or on
Yeah,
the part of Reed Blankenship. Another point swing. It's okay. It's not like the defense is not holding its own here. The
right.
defense is holding a team that has otherwise, I mean, decimated some secondaries in this league.
Yeah,
Some like that's a high powered offense. George Pickens went off 9 for 146 and a touchdown, but it didn't feel like that for the entirety of this game, especially in the first half. They were right there with him. And I think that injury to Adoree Jackson, and we've been talking about how bad he's been, but man, once Adoree Jackson was not in there, Keely Ringo again showed that he's not ready, and it turned into we're in trouble after Adoree Jackson left the game, and Jackson was even giving up some completions too. So
and now we have Makuba, who's apparently going to be missing multiple weeks now, according to a report just published today. I
yeah.
It's just one of those where it feels like a turning point in the wrong direction.
Hmm.
When you're up that big on your most hated rival, you
Yeah.
find a way to lose. Listen, the Cowboys played a solid game. And if they were ever gonna beat the Eagles, I guess on the day when they were, honoring that poor player
Hmm.
that died, fine,
Yeah.
have this one.
Right.
Forget who you're playing though. That's a horrible loss. That feels way worse than Denver to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And that's not even discussing that it was the Cowboys, who, as I've said, I turned into a monster on this week. My dog was afraid of me, ladies and gentlemen.
Hmm.
I don't want to be that guy, but this team turned me into that guy
Look what
by
you did to
playing
me.
horrible football.
Look what you're
And it's
doing to me.
your fault, Philadelphia. It's your fault, Kevin Patullo. I can't stand. I can't stand the Cowboys. I can't.
No, me either. Me either.
And we lost in horrible fashion.
This was a heartbreaker for sure, and it just felt like the Eagles have given the last 2 weeks, Jake. I'm always like, man, they're going to disappoint, right? Here we go. Okay, this is the play. The Eagles are going to give it up. They're going to give it up. But I didn't have that sense in this game. I was like, well, yes, they're giving up a few points here, but all you need is one drive, really. All you need is one drive to go right. Obviously, they had a missed field goal. Jake Elliott missed a 56-yarder. That's no gimme, but it's in a dome. You kind of
Yeah.
expect him to make that. But I was like, oh, I'm not going to get too up in arms right now.
Dramatic zoo.
I'm not gonna get crazy because I know the Eagles can win, and they've been winning in this fashion of really tight games, and it did not turn into that result at all. I think watching that fumble, especially from Saquon Barkley, was one of the most just gut wrenching things for me.
So listen, that one I don't call that like a bad fumble. I think that's a good play
Yeah, it is a
by
good
that
play.
trail guy. We need to talk about Xavier Gibson because to even catch that ball there,
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
yeah,
And then if you're gonna be an idiot, Xavier, hold on to the ball.
yeah.
Like
Please.
that is like I don't mean to throw shade at the Jets, but that is a Jets player making a Jets play.
Hmm.
That is
Yep.
not what a Super Bowl caliber team does. And I don't care if you're just a punt returner or whatever piece you play. Britton Covey does not make that mistake.
No.
And it was atrocious. And listen, there's a lot of reasons why we lost that game. That's a big one right there.
Not having that drive obviously
Right.
mattered. And then you get backed up, even once you make the stop on the fourth down, you're at the 3. So
You
it's not
got
like you
yeah,
could
you're
do
not
a
going to
whole
go
lot.
score on the ensuing drive.
Yeah, and he's that's not only is he fumbling right there, but just he catches it at the 1, let that ball go into the end zone,
I
you're out of the
just
20. It's I
this is like midget football stuff. This
Yeah,
is like pee-wee. This is not, oh, that's a a one unique moment. That no,
right.
this is I could hear. I cover high school football on Friday nights. I can hear a high school coach demolishing a kid for making that mistake, let alone a professional football player who, in Xavier Gibson's case, has exactly one job.
Yeah,
One.
catch the ball.
And it's just returning.
Yeah.
You know what? This man gets paid a lot of money to just think about all the scenarios that come up
Hmm.
when you're returning,
Hmm.
what to do on different cases when you're returning. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I have never returned a punt in my life. However, if my heels were on the goal line and there was a ball coming down, you know what I'd do? I'd move. I'd
Yep.
get out of the way.
I don't
And
want to
if
be here for this.
right, and look at this camera
Just
panning,
get it
Marshall.
out of
This
my
is
way. Come on.
just look at that thing go. But I just I don't understand how you make that bad of a mistake in that important of a situation. I don't get it.
That was a glaring mistake. And I know that the Eagles are trying to capitalize in the return game. You want to make, there are positive plays to be made there, but that's not the spot for it. And that's not one that was going to go in your favor. I think again, let that ball go into the end zone, back to the 20. You're in better field position. I have no problem with you taking the L there and just saying, all right, this is not a good spot. Boom, let it go. And if we get, you know, a bounce that makes it, roll back or go to the 1 or the 2 or 3, whatever, I'm actually fine with that decision. It would stink, but it's better than trying to turn the ball over right there.
But
Just get out of the way.
you know what's crazy? So like having punted, there is I can say this pretty confidently, unless you're playing in like a mud pit, the ball will not stay where it lands.
Especially in a
You can
dome
you can
and
put a
turf.
little bit of English on it and make it come backwards. But
That's what
guess
I'm
what?
saying.
Then you're not at the 1.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
might be at the 5 or the 6 or whatever, but you're not at the 1. And 94% of the time, touchback, you're at the 25. You're not making the 25 on that return in that case, even if everything goes according to plan.
Yeah.
Like you're not getting back to the 25. You if it's a good return, you're thinking 15, maybe 20, maybe. But you're not getting close to touchback territory. It's just stupid no matter what level you look at it.
Hmm.
And in such a huge game, in such a huge spot in that game, I just it's unforgivable. It really is. Just such a dumb error that you can't make. Playoff teams don't make that, let alone Super Bowl teams.
What do you make of the defensive performance in this game, Jake? The Eagles obviously end up giving up the 24 points to the Cowboys all in a row. But I don't think that that
Yeah.
necessarily underscores the overall performance of the defense. It wasn't like, okay, we're getting shellacked as much as it was there's nothing happening for the Eagles offense.
No, and if you take like if you would have said at the beginning of this game, you're only going to allow 24 points on an explosive Dallas offense, I would say, yeah, yeah, I'll take that deal. Like
Yeah.
we should be able to score more than 24, and we should win this game. And like you did mention, oh, they were all in a row, they were all late. Well, because the offense wasn't keeping the ball. It
Yeah.
was just like, all right, defense, get out there, long drive, they score. Okay, whatever. Well, up three and out. Okay, well, all right. Well, defense, we're gonna need you back on there. Can you go out and oh, they scored. Okay, well, at least the offense. So, oh, we fumbled.
Hmm.
Okay, so now you got another defensive possession, and oh, by the way, they're at like the 20. And they fumbled again, and
Yeah.
you can't just keep trotting a defense out there and expect them to be able to make stops when they're just constantly on the field. This was like the Chip Kelly era. Do you remember when poor Josh McDermott was just praying for just a little bit of time of possession because his defensive guys were just shattered? That's how
Hmm.
it was at the end of this game. That's why injuries were happening because you're not supposed to be on the field that much,
No.
especially when you play for Philadelphia. That's kind of our thing is like ball possession, not turning it over, eating the clock. And we did zero of those things in the second half. So
Yep.
that's what happens. You can't take an offense that explosive and give them the ball that many times and expect our defense to be able to hold out for the entire time. It just won't happen.
Especially as the secondary is starting to hobble its way through the remainder of this game.
Right.
The injuries in the secondary to Makuba, to Blankenship, those are going to be ones to watch this weekend heading into the Bears matchup. But Jake, I'm curious from just watching this team and specifically the Jalen Hurts iteration of this team. It's always been predicated on this option play, the read option play. You've got the threat of Jalen Hurts pulling the ball down, running for first downs, making a quick pass to the outside on a slant to AJ, or handing the ball off to, in this case, Saquon Barkley, or any of the previous stable of running backs that we've had here. What I'm not seeing from this offense, and some have been saying that's what's missing from this offense, is the Jalen Hurts scramble plays, is the Jalen Hurts designed runs that are successful, is the Jalen Hurts, RPO game that doesn't seem to be there as much. First of all, do you think that that's an accurate assessment, that they're not attempting those plays as much anymore? And do you think that a return to something like that could help the Eagles as we move down the stretch here?
Yeah, so it's impossible to tell because what I think might be happening is they might be calling it
Hmm.
and the defense is just reading it every time. You heard about Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, and other guys calling the offense predictable.
Right.
And I really wonder if those plays that are just like we hand the ball off and it goes like
Negative
Saquon's hit
one,
2 yards
two
behind the line of
yards.
scrimmage.
Yeah.
I wonder if those are RPOs being read so well by the defense that we don't even have like an option.
Hmm.
It just turns it looks to us like an inside zone. Um, we're definitely not running it as much as we were in the past, so that's an accurate assessment. Um, I just I do understand why you'd want to limit the amount of damage that Hurts takes over the season.
Yeah.
You saw it was it last year when
Two
he was
years
fighting
ago.
off, or
Yeah.
2 years ago when he was fighting off
Last year he was pretty
injuries?
healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, but 2 years ago when he was fighting off like all those knee and ankle injuries and the back and the because
And then he got the
these guys,
finger against the Giants.
right? Yeah, it's it's not college football. Like these
Hmm.
guys get smacked around when they keep the ball.
Yeah.
And listen, I love the design quarterback run in the empty set. Like I love that play call. But if you just objectively watch, 8 times out of 10 he gets walloped on
Hmm.
those.
Yeah.
And I do agree. It's the most effective version of this offense. But I don't really want my franchise quarterback getting wrecked like that on a regular basis. Maybe save it for one time a game when you really, really need it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think Jalen Hurts has been doing a really good job of not taking huge shots.
Hmm.
Um, but it's like, is that because we're not running the RPOs? Thereby, we're a less effective offense. I
Right.
don't know where the trade off is. At 8, again, I'm trying not to overreact because I realize we just lost to the Cowboys, and that's infuriating to every Eagles fan.
Of course.
But we're 8-3.
Yeah.
It feels like an ugly 8-3, but it's 8-3.
Eight and
Our
three,
first
second in the standings right now in the NFC.
and the second place team in the NFC is the Cowboys at 5-5. Like it's not
NFC East.
particularly
Yeah.
or NFC East, sorry. It's not particularly close
Hmm.
um right now. I don't want to overreact. It's just right now we don't look like a Super Bowl team.
We just
We
can't
don't.
put a full game together, Jake. And I don't
Right.
know of, again, outside of the Giants game, and I don't think that that's a good test because they lose their running back in the middle of that game. They,
Right.
they're a rookie quarterback led team. You never know what you're going to get. They ended up benching, or not benching, but he doesn't play right now. He's not starting, right? He's
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's out there playing for the Giants right now, but that's a one-time, okay, complete game showing for the Eagles. And that was against
At home against a rookie quarterback. You
and one
know.
of the worst teams I think in the league right now.
Yeah.
So like that was a mirage in my view. That was
Yeah, right.
like
That's a fluke.
no,
Yeah.
we fixed it. We have not fixed it. So I think moving forward, the question's going to be what is your identity? What can you lean upon? Because in this game, it was we can do a little bit through the air. We did more through the air. We had
Yeah.
nothing to speak of from the running game. And the reason I asked you that question, Jake, is part of what I think the criticism for Jalen Hurts against Jalen Hurts has been for the duration of his career is the knock that you have on him all the time, which is he can't throw the ball in tight windows, he can't throw
Yeah,
deep
right.
balls, he's not accurate, and he's not as consistent as you'd like from the passing standpoint. This game, that wasn't necessarily the case. I would say that there are a couple that you could point to
Yeah,
having
one
missed.
one big miss on the Devontae Smith deep ball, and then other than that, I can't really think of a time when I went, "Oh, that was Hurts's fault."
Yeah, there was one
Um,
outbreaking route to AJ Brown that was kind of a high throw from Jalen Hurts, but to be fair to him, he was getting pressured and
yeah,
getting
it's like
rushed.
rolling out and then trying to throw on the run. People don't appreciate how difficult that is.
Yeah,
I have a hard time saying, "Oh, that's Hurts's fault." The miss on the Smith deep ball that would have been a backbreaker, and that was on Hurts. He just threw to the wrong shoulder
yeah,
very early on, first quarter.
yeah.
Other than that, though, I mean, you look at his stat line. I like what are you complaining about? 289 yards, 27 for 39, with an average of 7.4, which means he's throwing the ball down the field a little bit
Hmm.
more. Um,
And he had two rushing touchdowns in this game. The one of which was not a tush push, was just a really
It's
good
just an
individual play.
actual, yeah, a brilliant play from him. Uh, I
But
again,
my question, Jake, is if we take that out of his game, does that eliminate the thing that makes him be in the conversation as an elite quarterback? I mean, Josh
yeah,
Allen,
right,
right? Josh Allen's he has all the intangibles, right? The arm, the leg strength, he can bowl you over, but
yeah,
he's running as though a running back would. He's taking people
right,
on one on the field and trying to, bowl past him for a first down sometimes. He's not doing it maybe as much as a
right.
prime Jalen Hurts or as a Jalen Hurts of a couple years ago, like 2022 season was doing. But like, if you take that element out of Jalen's game, you try to make him play within this shell, are you hamstringing the rest of the team? Right?
See,
Would that
yeah,
open up new lanes for the running game? Would Saquon Barkley be going off to the races then?
yeah. I mean, maybe, but like the thing is, I don't know if this is weird. I'm defending Jalen Hurts.
I like it.
I don't know if you can pin it on him because he's
Yeah.
playing so freaking well. Like if he was staying in the pocket and going 15 for 40 for 110 yards, I'd be like, yeah, we got a problem. But when he's just slinging the rock around as effectively as he was in the first half,
Yeah.
like this again, this is why I mentioned the refs off the top. Like we had to throw more than we wanted to, I think, in that second half because we were constantly at like 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
Um, So like you play into the hands of the defense when you do that. Like this is equal parts, in my opinion, a coaching problem,
Hmm.
a an execution problem in terms of like the turnovers, and uh, an equal, I'd say an equal opportunity problem between the referees and our players for being flagged 14 times.
Yeah.
When listen, I've watched a lot of football. When you throw 14 flags, that makes me think of that game was like super dirty,
Hmm.
right? And I
Yeah.
don't know if you can object. This might be one of the cleanest games against the Cowboys I've ever seen.
Yeah. It
There
didn't.
wasn't really like
No
pushing and
scrums.
shoving after the
Yeah.
whistle. It was like squeaky clean.
Hmm.
So how can you tell me that the Eagles deserved 14 flags? And people are going to say, "Oh, because they committed 14 penalties." Watch any football game, folks, and there's a penalty on
On every
every
play.
play.
Yeah.
The referees make a decision as to when to throw flags and did that penalty impact the play.
Yeah.
And I'm just speaking objectively here. This is not because I'm an Eagles fan. There were not 14 of those in that game. There just weren't. And if you're going to call that many, then you can't have what the Cowboys have, like 6 or 8 or something.
Yeah.
They held Jalen Carter on every single rush, every single one. And listen, I'm not sitting here saying throw a flag on every single one.
No.
That's asinine.
Hmm.
But you can't throw a flag on every single infringement that one team makes and not the other. That's not how football works. That's not how officiating works. I really felt like we were getting homered, which I don't usually feel like that in the NFL, but it really felt like that tonight. I don't know about, or, Sunday night. I don't know about you.
Yeah. I don't know if it was as glaring to me because I was just so confused about, what was going on with the offense in general. I just,
Right.
again, the holes that were there for Saquon Barkley are just simply not there. And he's getting, I think he had 5 total yards of rushing offense before contact in this game. So
That's
it's like he's getting I mean, you almost can't blame him. I mean, he's in the media saying it's my fault, it's my fault. The offensive line is saying
no,
it's
it's
not all
not
on him, it's not all on
Saquon.
him. It's all of us, which I think is true. I mean, this is a full unit that is lackluster right now. Here's a question, Jake, and we've seen him in spurts make a difference here. Bigsby has 1 rush for 8 yards in this game, and his average on the season is close to 10. Is it really that Saquon's having a problem, or is it just that Tank he's got a little bit different gear, he's hitting it differently, or finding another hole? Like what? Why is there this
Neither.
disparity?
Here's the disparity is because I'm not like an excellent football mind,
Mhm.
but I am sitting on my couch going, we're running this ball.
Yeah.
We're throwing this ball. We're running
Hmm.
this ball. If
Hmm.
I can see it, NFL defenses can certainly see it.
Yeah.
And what's frustrating is we just line up the exact same way every single time we're
Hmm.
going to run the ball. And put Jalen under center. Put Tank in there. Do something. Put them both on the field. You know what I mean? Give them defense something to think about. Because this offense would be like, and I mean this in as big of an insult as I possibly can. If you said, Jake, make the offense for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because guys, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've
Hmm.
never, made up a
Coached.
football play in my
Yeah.
life. And this is what I would do. I'd be like, okay, well, I guess we put, one tight end on the field, 3 wide receivers, and we'll put Saquon right next to Jalen in the shotgun, and we'll hand off and run inside zone.
Yep.
And guess what? That's all Kevin Patullo is doing. That's all.
Beating his head
That's
against the wall.
right. It's the only running scheme he's running. And what I don't understand is like, okay, we do really well in the Giants game. Let's analyze that. Oh, we ran duo.
Yeah.
Oh, we ran under center. Oh,
Hmm.
look, play action.
Hmm.
And then it's so effective. And then we just don't do it ever again.
I know.
Why?
I don't know. And it was almost like there was just a philosophy change, Jake. You have 21 points. You have success. You're doing well. And then oh, we've got too big of a lead. We need to calm down. I don't like
Yeah.
we need to just ease
Let's
off a little bit.
let's
Hold on.
let's hold our horses here,
Let's not beat
folks.
them too bad. Okay, let's not
Yeah.
like what I don't know what shifted there, but it really was like up 21. Okay, we're cool to coast for the rest of the way. And the Eagles have
Right.
never like they've never given up that sort of a lead to this team. I mean,
Right.
I know that this is very uncharacteristic for a Nick Sirianni led team. And I know that there's calls for Kevin Patullo's job right now. I just don't like my concern, Jake, is that we've got more of a personnel issue on the line,
Yeah.
and that especially given the injuries that we're dealing with and we'll probably be continuing to deal with. Like I don't think that Landon's out there playing at 100%. I don't think
No,
that
no.
I don't think that when Jurgens is in the lineup, he's out there playing at
No,
100%.
because he's been in and out all year. You know he's not.
Yeah, and even
Um,
when I we hope uh, Johnson comes back, I don't think that he's going to be at 100%. The only guy you could
no.
say he's doing maybe okay is Mailata out there, and
Right.
that's not enough to get you a full like quality
Well,
offensive line.
and again, that's not you don't win the running game at your left tackle
Yeah,
spot. He's
right.
your pass protector.
Yeah.
You win at right guard
Yep.
is and that's Steen.
Yeah.
So you're like, is he really the answer? I don't know because you got to remember, Mekhi Becton's gone, who
Hmm.
was, I mean, elite in the run game last
Yeah.
year, and you're missing him. As you said, nobody's really healthy, which doesn't help. Um, it I think the personnel is an issue, but
Hmm.
I really think it's a scheme problem
Yeah.
because this offensive line isn't drastically different from last year.
No.
The thing that is different is you lost Kellen Moore and replaced him with who might be the most conservative play caller I've ever seen. And that's just not how you win in the NFL being super conservative. Uh, you look at
But
who's
they're 8-3,
won,
so I don't know.
but who's won the Super Bowl in the last? All right, let's think. Nick
Eagles.
Sirianni with Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Year before that was that
Chiefs.
Sean Mc? Yeah, Andy Reid with the Chiefs,
Yeah.
and then Andy
Andy.
Reid with the Chiefs,
Yeah.
and then before that was Sean McVay with the
Yeah.
Rams. The opposite of conservative,
Right.
you
Right.
know, super aggressive. That's that's not how you don't win by running inside zone two times and
But then you got Showboat Dan
right.
Campbell over here losing to the Eagles, going for it
Yeah,
5 times on fourth down.
yeah, true. But again, let's look when he was good. He wasn't calling the plays. It was Ben Johnson. And
Right.
now, oh look, the Bears are doing good. I wonder why.
Hmm.
Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
It's there. There's such people glaze over this. I think they glaze over it in college too. Uh, who calls the plays on offense and defense is incredibly, incredibly important because
Yeah.
you can do all the mastermind scheming you want on the whiteboard all week, but you need to pick the right play at the right time. There is an art to that because you've seen so many people fail at it. And I wonder if we got the right guy calling the plays. I'm not convinced.
Uh, okay. So if we're not convinced of that, who do we have, Jake? Who is next up to take the reins away from Kevin Patullo? Is it Parks Frazier? Is it Christian Parker? I mean, where are we at? Is it the quarterback's
No,
coach?
the answer is nobody in house. That's the problem. And I'm not saying like I don't think you can fire Kevin Patullo right now
Yeah.
in the season because the only way I could see us getting around this is Nick Sirianni taking the reins.
Hmm.
I don't know if he's comfortable doing that. Um, I just this feels like we are going to have to sit here and grit our teeth
Hmm.
for the remainder of this season and just hope. And I don't think that that's a recipe for success. I don't know about
No,
you.
I don't either.
Um, but short of if we with this roster, if we don't make the NFC Championship game, we don't have to win it. But if we don't make the NFC Championship game, I think you gotta make a play calling change. I'm not saying you have to fire Kevin Patullo, but maybe you say, Nick, you're calling the plays. Or see ya, Kevin, let's bring in someone who's gonna call the plays. Because right now, this is not a recipe for success.
No, I mean it's concerning for me too, though. The idea of bringing somebody in over the offseason, again, just the amount of times that Jalen Hurts, and he's proven he can do it. Obviously, he came off of
Right.
last year where he had a new offensive coordinator and he won a Super Bowl, and he
Yeah.
appeared in the previous Super Bowl. But like just the inconsistency there, like it would be nice to find somebody who stays in house.
Right.
I know that is the one of the truths of the NFL is when you get a good coach, he's gonna get poached,
Coached. Yeah.
yeah, and he's gonna be taken out of your building. But I just think from a consistency standpoint, I I don't know that this offense looks any like it's a completely different looking offense than anything we saw last year. And
Yeah.
I know that there are some concepts that they're like we got to try to exploit this or this could work or whatever, but it just does not feel the same at all. And it seems very vanilla. The route concepts are just so plain. Just
Yeah.
go ball, slant route maybe, out and up. No double moves, no other like it just doesn't feel like some have called it, some pundits have called it like a junior high looking offense.
Right.
That's not what an NFL team should have, especially an NFL team that is positioning itself for a chance to repeat as champions in this league. I,
Right.
you're right. I mean, I think that that's the eventual conclusion here. I just don't know if right now is the right time to make that happen. Still, again, sitting at 8-3,
Yeah.
you
Yeah. I
got
don't think you can.
you just can't do like giving it away to even Sirianni. Like he was calling plays, remember, in his rookie season as a head coach, and then gave up those play calling duties because
Right.
he's like, I'm actually not that good at this.
Right.
And he's more of like the,
Man
dealing with
manager.
player and
Yeah.
dealing with those, personnel issues and everything and like trying to figure out, okay, like our identity is this. This is what we do in this situation, game time stuff that, even let's think about it like an Andy Reid, right? Andy Reid forever called plays,
Yeah.
still calls plays in this league. What is
Yep.
Andy Reid horrible at? Clock management decisions,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
game management decisions. He has never been
Hmm.
good at that. Part of the reason I think that's the case is he is standing there with a clipboard trying to figure out if he's going to run
What's call?
a
Yeah.
deep ball or if he's going to, throw another
But
screen pass in there.
But Marshall, I would retort with Nick Sirianni's already bad at that stuff. So who cares?
That's true.
He's terrible at that. So it's like, I might as well call the plays because he already stinks at it when he has full brain power on it.
Just
Um,
get me on the phone with Matt Patricia. Let's get him
yeah.
back in
Oh
here.
yeah, we should. That's so bad. That's like this sick joke that between two Super Bowl appearances, Matt Patricia was calling offensive plays.
And
Like
defensive
what
for a
happened?
while.
Yeah, right. No, he was like the defensive consultant, and then we're like, you could be the offensive coordinator. Like,
Yeah.
it's so bad. It's so bad. Speaking of defense, I did want to bring this up. One sack
One sack. Not
after
enough.
a dominant pass rush
Hmm.
against Green Bay and then against the Lions, it just went poof. Now I will say we did hit Dak 6 times, um, but to only convert that into one little sack
Yeah.
against I wouldn't call the Cowboys offensive line elite. Um,
No.
that's a little concerning.
It is. It is concerning. It's hard to repeat 3 weeks in a row what they've done. I mean,
True.
what they did um, against both the Packers and the Lions. It was just impressive all the way around. But I think what
Yeah.
happened mostly was, especially in that second half, you start opening up areas for balls to be flying over people's heads. They're getting open 2 seconds into their route, and here we go. I mean, there's
Right.
Prescott was getting rid of the ball
Yeah.
pretty quickly. Um, I mean, this is an offense that's humming right now. Again, I don't think they're going to do anything in the play. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to do anything if they make it to the playoffs, the Cowboys. But you have to respect what they're putting out in the field. Even CD Lamb is, heck, Jake Ferguson had 60 yards, Turpin with 48,
Yeah.
CD Lamb with 75. I mean, they were torched through the air, 354 for Prescott on 23 of 36. Um, but he did have a pick in this game. He threw a pick in the end zone in this game. And
Yeah.
we forget that was another big momentum swing in the Eagles' favor. It could have been a much different. I mean, heck, you put another 7 points on this scoreboard, and then the Eagles are really looking like they had a bad game here.
Right.
Um, I I the frustration runs deep for me right now. But let's keep in mind the positives. Number one, the Eagles still in very good position to win the NFC East. I don't think that really at this stage, I don't think that there's a question the Eagles are likely to make the playoffs. Okay, it would take a pretty significant meltdown. 2023 worse than 2023 meltdown.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, to get them out of the playoff race. The other thing is, of the games in the last 3 weeks that you needed to win, it was not the Cowboys game. Really, for seeding in this league and for standing in this league, the prior 2 weeks victories will loom much larger because of the Cowboys' not so impressive record than if you had dropped one to either the Lions or the Packers and then beaten the Cowboys instead. So of these 3 weeks,
Right.
I would have most wanted to lose to the Cowboys. And I hate that because I don't want to ever lose to the Cowboys. But if I had to
Right.
choose one just for playoff seedings, I would stick it there. And the Eagles still have, thanks to Jordan Davis and his blocked field goal, a
Head to
tiebreaker
head.
head
Yeah.
to head
Yeah.
with the current NFC frontrunner in the Rams, a team that
Right.
I still think if the Eagles were to make it to an NFC championship game and be the 2 seed and go to LA to play, I would still like the Eagles' chances to win there and go back to another Super Bowl. That's
Yeah.
my take on it. So, again, there's been a fire. We know there was a fire. We contained it at least to the kitchen. All right. We pulled out one of those fire blankets and tossed it over the frying pan. Okay. We have kept it to a point where, yes, the trends on offense are not good, but the defense is still something, even after this week, that I think you're still hanging your hat on. Right.
Right.
Now, the question comes to this, Jake. Can the Eagles defense stop Caleb Williams in Chicago?
If you asked me that question a year ago, I would have laughed in your face.
I know.
And now this year, with again, just talked about it, Ben Johnson calling the shots, you go, uh-oh, they're actually good now. And unlike recent years, they're battle tested because that division is just a nightmare with the Packers
Yeah.
and the Lions and everything up there. So like I I don't know. I would I'm less concerned about the defense than I am with the offense. I'm wondering, can we put some numbers up on the Bears defense, which you know, I don't love, like, when you look at our personnel top to bottom. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, like Dallas Goedert. We should be able to score on everyone all the time. And the fact that we're not, like, if you would have said we really have to rely on the defense this year, I would have said you're crazy. But that's where we're at. Right now, I am hoping for, like, the Lions and the Packers games. I'm hoping that we can please just get us 2 or 3 touchdowns so that, we can win this game on defense. And it's not how you win in the modern NFL. This isn't 1985,
Right.
And the short answer is yes, I think we can stop Caleb Williams. Do I think we can score? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the Eagles secondary's ability to make young quarterbacks squirm and make
Scared.
mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think Caleb Williams is one who is prone to making mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
I think he will force that ball and I think the Eagles, excuse me, can take advantage of that. The player that I'm actually, and this is maybe a little bit of a um, just personal fear because of his time here and what he did for the Eagles. But the player I'm a little more scared of in this game is DeAndre Swift. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like he's not having the greatest statistical year, but man, he still has the juice, Jake. And this is,
Yeah.
to my knowledge, the first time because I don't think we played the Bears last year. This is the first time that he'll be returning or to Philadelphia to play a game since he left us.
You might be right.
Um,
And also Olamide Zaccheaus,
oh
Chicago
yes,
Bear. Look
yeah.
out, ladies and gentlemen.
Look out for Zacchaeus. I
Yeah.
think that the passing attack, though, is a formidable passing attack. DJ Moore is, of course, always a threat, and
Right. Roma Dunze's having a breakout season.
mhm.
And again, like I'm no doctor. It looked like Adore Jackson had a pretty bad concussion to me. Is
Yeah,
he even back for that game?
I would be very surprised if he was, given that it's
Short
a short
week.
week.
Yeah, I doubt it. So
Mhm.
you're running in there, I guess, with Ringo.
I don't
Um,
know. I would kind of like to see. I don't know that I want
that
Ringo out
this
there
is what I
again.
was just
I
about to
want
say.
Bennett.
Put Bennett, put Carter, put
Hmm.
somebody else
Yeah,
in there because I don't know if Ringo can deliver the goods
no.
on game day. And especially like you said against like I just feel like every NFL team now has that second wide receiver that can give you
Hmm.
some problems. In this case, I wonder if you got to have a real thought about maybe you put Quinion on Odunze just because of recent production. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Do you bump Cooper outside and run Ja'Cory and Bennett in the slot?
How did you like
I
his performance against CD, playing on the outside a little
um
bit there?
I statistically I think he did really well, but I think a lot of that came down to CD dropping the football.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you don't like I don't know if you can say like, oh yeah, that was all coverage because it was hitting him in the hands
Right.
multiple times.
Right.
So, but again, no offense to Romo Doomsday, like he's not CD Lamb.
No.
Um, it's tough, man. And listen, the way you make your secondary better is with a pass rush. Does the pass rush show up? If we have a pass rush like we did against the Lions, they're not going to do anything
Yeah.
because Caleb Williams has a lot of like early Carson Wentz in him. Like he will run back and forth
Yep.
4 times before he's willing to just throw that ball away.
Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
and that's when you start going, oh, I mean, not Quinion, he's fine, but can the rest of our secondary cover that long? And
Right.
especially Makuba's out, you got a new safety coming in. Like we said, you know, Jackson's probably out. I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Hmm. Yeah, this game, like we talked about, not one that I would say a year ago, oh, I'm scared about the Bears,
Yeah, I would
but
have been like, oh, easy win. But
hey, it's a short week, so these short week games always become about just who's got more guts because
yeah,
I know that it's really difficult to rebound after a Sunday at Jerry World where I thought it was still whatever happened on the scoreboard, it was still a very physical game for both
oh yeah,
teams. I
it's
mean,
the
this
Cowboys. Yeah,
this this was like a really knockdown, drag out sort of fight. So to bounce back from that, it's going to be really difficult, I think, for the offensive line in this game. I think the Bears defense has been playing much better as of late. And of course you wonder, can the Eagles get on track a little bit through the air again? Another question. And on the ground, can they do anything at all enough to at least sustain some of these drives if you do get a lead in the game? I like that it's a home game, Jake. Always feel a little more comfortable playing in the
yeah.
link. And I think the fans are going to be a little bit upset coming into
Oh,
this one.
I am.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
they're going to be taking it out on the Chicago Bears down the field.
Yeah,
So so who do you like here? This is one that could really change the tide of the season. Let's see, another
yeah.
another loss here. Now you're sitting at 8-4. Now you're looking at the likes of, uh, the um, Packers and Lions potentially having better records than you do.
Right.
Um, what are you thinking going into this one?
I am basing my prediction entirely off of the positives in my eye
Okay.
that come after a short week loss because you have less time to feel sorry for yourself.
Right.
You have less time for like the media circus
Mm-hmm.
to impact
Mm-hmm.
you because like right today, Monday, is normally a complete nothing day.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I don't have like the internal schedule, but my guess is they're doing something today, whether it's meetings or like recovery workouts or something.
Probably a
Something's
walk,
going
maybe a
on.
walkthrough or
Walk
something.
through something. There's something happening today
Mm-hmm.
where they can't sit there and say, boo hoo, we lost to the Cowboys. They
Right.
are now focused on next week already, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I think we win a Detroit-esque game. I
Okay.
think we win 21-17, and it's gonna be ugly. It's not gonna be good football. We're gonna two of the touchdowns will be tush pushes because it's gonna be
Yeah.
that kind of game. And we're just gonna be mad and we're just gonna take it out on poor little Caleb Williams and the Bears. And they got the wrong draw at the wrong time.
Yeah. Man, I hope that the result is the right one. But I'm a little worried about this offensive attack for the Bears. I think they've been putting up pretty good numbers. They're averaging 26 points a game. I'm going to give them about that. I'm going to give them 24 points in this game, but I'm going to say that the Eagles eke out one more touchdown than they did in the previous matchup with the Cowboys and win 28-24. I think a similar vibe from what you just described, that it's going to be a tougher nosed game, but I think there could be some bigger pass plays that open up for the Eagles. We saw another good deep ball to Devontae Smith, a 41-yard catch. I thought that was another good sign. And then opening AJ up, I still, you have to keep AJ, you have to keep him engaged in this game. You just
Yep.
have to. And whether or not, he had as much production in the second half, that doesn't matter as much to me as just keeping him fed for now, because in the playoffs,
Yeah.
in big game moments, you need AJ Brown. And I like some were saying, and I don't totally disagree with it, watching his press conference after the game, yeah, the Eagles lost, but he didn't look as mopey
He
and
looked
sad.
happy. Yeah,
He was
right.
like, he
That's
was like, okay, yeah, like let's do
yeah,
it,
you see me? I actually caught footballs today.
Yeah.
Um,
Hoping that's the standard that the Eagles move forward with for the rest of the season. I'm giving it to them though, 28-24. It'll be an interesting one at the Linc on Friday. A
here's a
Friday
question.
game. Yeah.
Over or under 65 yards for Saquon Barkley?
I got to go under. I think it's easy under for me.
How sad is that?
It's
A
it's
guy that was
just
routinely getting over like 130 last year.
absolutely. I could see the Eagles having more than 100 yards of total rushing offense in this game.
Mhm.
That would be adding in some Jalen Hurts runs, maybe a few Tank Bigsby runs. I just don't see 65. Just seems like a mountain of an effort for this rushing attack right now. And that could be like, I mean, if he gets 65, it's because he's getting 25 carries, Jake.
Yeah, right. That's just what a sad state of affairs we're in.
Yeah. Like he
Um,
didn't have a rush over 10 yards in this game against the
yeah.
Cowboys.
But we're kind of skipping over the Phillies this week, folks, because of how sad Marshall and I are
Yeah.
about the Eagles' loss. But in other baseball news, I just wanted to get your take on a division rival
Okay.
making a trade. Brandon Nimmo out
Ooh.
for New York. In comes Marcus Simeon. What do you think?
That's an interesting change. Um,
It's like a
Simeon coming
pity.
from Simeon coming from the Rangers.
Rangers. This is a pretty like low key big trade.
Yeah.
Like starter for starter trade in the MLB. That's not like a really common thing. Typically it's like starter for two prospects or something like that.
Mhm.
This is like sneaky big, especially this early.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get your take.
I actually kind of think that's a significant trade. I don't know what Simeon's stats were in 2025, but I think he is a better bat than Nimmo. And I think athletic ability, just it factor sort of thing. Like I feel like he would fit well in that clubhouse with Lindor and with the other kind of superstar names that you have now that you've lost Pete Alonso. Well, I guess it's not for
Yeah, not
certain
locked in.
that they've lost Pete Alonso, but they're going to. Soto, of course, in that man, that's a tough one. That's one that I think could loom
So
large throughout the
so
season.
here's my thought. Uh, I I think the stats would help paint a clearer picture. Brandon
Mhm.
Nimmo, 262,
Okay,
25 home runs.
right.
Okay. Marcus Simeon,
Hmm.
230,
Yeah.
15 home runs. For
Hmm.
me, you are trading a 32-year-old dynamic center fielder
Yeah.
for a 35-year-old middle infielder with a minus arm and a worse bat.
Hmm. So you're thinking this is a
And
negative.
yeah, I think it's crazy.
Hmm.
Like if I'm an opposing maybe not any opposing pitcher. If I'm a Phillies pitcher, because this guy kills us. Maybe I'm biased because I only watch the Phils,
Yeah, maybe.
and and Brandon Nimmo is like a Philly killer. But I'm like, you just traded away like the kryptonite of the Phils for this is not the Marcus Simeon of 3-4 years
That's
ago.
true. That's true. I was not factoring in his age as much as I should have.
Yeah, and I don't know if I love it as a Phillies fan. I'm like, hey, fine, whatever. See it, Brandon.
Hmm.
I'll happily play you maybe once a year instead of 10 times a year.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't I brought it up because no matter how bad the Eagles make us feel,
Yeah.
remember, folks.
The Phillies will make us feel worse.
Well, no, what I was gonna say is we'll never feel as bad as Mets fans. It's impossible. So just rest easy tonight, knowing that you don't root for the New York Mets and that front office.
I'm gonna age myself, Jake.
Uh
um, I'm 30 years old, right?
oh.
Shocks.
Your hair looks
Shock and awe.
gray.
Shock and awe. There's a couple. There's a couple over here. And I have not been alive for a to well, I guess to watch with my own eyes and remember it. A Dallas Cowboys NFC Championship appearance, let alone victory. And I have not witnessed a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl in my lifetime.
Correct.
Um, I just want to put that out there for anybody who feels that the Cowboys have somehow gotten a leg up on the Eagles after this Sunday win. That the irrelevance of the Dallas Cowboys is only pushed to the side because of the aura around the Dallas Cowboys and their owner and everything that
Yeah.
goes along with Big D. Otherwise, they have been a sorry franchise for the entirety of my life, and I hope they remain that way in perpetuity, Jake.
So I'll age myself. I was born in March of 1996,
Hmm.
the last Cowboys Super Bowl and thus NFC Championship win
Hmm.
was January of
Yeah,
1996.
yeah,
So I, at almost 30,
yeah.
have not been
Alive.
alive.
Yeah,
I did not exist
yeah.
the last time that the Dallas Cowboys even won an NFC championship game. And for my friend who supports the Cowboys and texted me, and for the rest of you Cowboys fans, I will sleep easy tonight knowing that in my lifetime, the Eagles have won 2 Super Bowls,
Hmm.
and you haven't even won a single NFC championship
Yep.
game.
Let's just put that out there for everyone to know. in this millennia,
Yeah.
the Cowboys are irrelevant.
And for all those people that go, well, we won 5 of them. We won 5. Yeah. Back before I existed.
Yep.
So I don't care.
Irrelevant.
Because I didn't exist yet.
Irrelevant.
Doesn't
So
matter,
sorry.
folks.
So sorry.
Doesn't matter.
All right, we're paving a new path forward here. The offense is going to get its act together, and we're going to have a successful Friday of football. Something I hope we don't have to say again this year. I don't want to watch another game on a Friday, Jake. What is this? Come on now.
But it's Black Friday, one of the best
true.
days of the year, because
That's
you got like the food baby from Thanksgiving. You're just sitting on the couch drinking like equal parts Pepto and beer. It's gonna be a great day.
It's gonna be a great day. Go Birds! Hey, and next week we got a treat for you. We got a treat for you. We got a little something in store. It's gonna look like it's never looked before. Can't wait to get it to you. And we'll see you then for the love of Broad Street.
For the love of Broad Street.